Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how to use a while loop in LabView, and to do that I'm just going to make an adder that will sum up the numbers from 1 to 10. So let's begin in the block diagram. So we can start by making the actual while loop by right-clicking anywhere on the white space, and you'll get this menu, and from this menu we'll choose Structures and then While Loop. And then we can click and drag to make our while loop as big as we want. Now it comes with two things already. It comes with the iteration, so how many times the while loop has run, and it also comes with this loop condition, which is it basically asks you under which conditions you want the while loop to stop running. And actually, if you right-click on it, you can see that you can stop if true or continue if true, which will basically stop when it's false. So we want to sum up the numbers from 1 to 10, so I'm going to add a comparison and equal. So if you right-click on one of the nodes, you can create a constant, and I'm going to make it 10. So as soon as this is equal to 10, this will output a true value and stop the loop. And that's going to be from the iteration, because I'm going to use the iteration number, so the amount of times, the amount of loops I've gone through to count and actually sum up those numbers. I'm summing up the iterations, since it's already given. And I'm actually going to add an indicator here that will tell me my iteration. And as you can see, this also pops up in front panel, and we'll just move that down here. And this will tell me how many iterations I've gone through, and it should stop at 10. Now I'm supposed to add up the numbers, so if you right-click and you go to numeric, you can see the add function. And I'm going to be adding the iterations, so I'm just going to, sorry about that, I'm just going to connect that to one of the input nodes. Now the issue is, what happens to the sums? Well, if the while loop is allowed to run uninterrupted right now, then every time it's the adder will sum something up, the next iteration will wipe that from its memory, so to speak. And to make sure that it doesn't, or to at least keep the value in a different place, what we can do is add a shift register for that exact reason. To do that, all you have to do is just attach a wire from the adder to the wall, and then right-click, and then click Replace with Shift Register. Now, as you can see, it's on both sides. So what this will do is it will pass the sum to this shift register. It'll keep it, and for the next iteration, this will be the input. And I'll attach this right now, but I'll explain in just a second. So as this starts counting, so 0, 1, 2, this will go through here to the adder, and this is automatically 0. It's 0 by default. You can set it to be something else, and I'll show you how to do that later, but for now it'll be 0. So the first iteration will go through 0, it'll go here, it'll be added to 0, and 0 will be stored in the shift register. And 0 will also go here. It's not equal to 0, so this will pass a false value, and this only stops if true, so it'll keep going. Next iteration, this will be a 1. Again, it will be false, so it won't stop the loop. 1 will be added to the 0 that's still in the shift register, and the sum, which is 1, will be stored in the shift register again. So on the next iteration, now when it's 2, again, not equal to 10, so it outputs a false value, and this will keep going. But now, when the 2 is passed up here, now you have a 1 from this shift register, and the sum will be 3. So as you can see, as it keeps going, it will just keep summing up the numbers, and once it reaches 10, this will stop the loop, and the last value that will be added is 10. So this will work. The only issue, and actually let me just add an indicator here. This will be our sum indicator. Oh, that interesting. That worked on one side but not on the other. That's alright, that's alright. We can see it here. So this will be our sum, and this will work right now, but it might not work for your purposes, and I'll explain. So if I run it right now, you can see that the iteration is 10, which is correct, and the sum is 55, which is also correct. And if you only need to run this once, it'll be perfectly fine. However, if you need to run it again, you'll have to clear the shift register, because the last number that the shift register saved was 55, and as soon as I ran it again, it just kept adding the iterations. The iterations start from 0 again, so it added another 55, and that's why we get 110. So if I keep running it, it'll just keep adding 55 indefinitely. If I want it to start from 0, or if I want to reset the shift register to any value, I can right-click on this left shift register, create a constant, and in this case I'm going to make it 0. But for your purposes, you can make it any value you need. And now when I run this, it goes to 55, and I can keep running it, and it'll still go to 55 because the shift register will always be cleared. Because this is outside of the while loop, the shift register will always be cleared before the while loop starts running. And that's all for now. I hope this helped, and thank you so much for watching.